413 million miles sounds like a long way. Something you can see in March might change your mind. On March 8, 2016, Earth and Jupiter will have a close encounter at only 413 million miles apart. Jupiter rises in the east at sunset, shining 3 times brighter than Sirius, the brightest star in the sky. The giant planet will be up all night, soaring almost overhead at midnight, and not setting until the sky brightens with the twilight hues of sunrise on March 9th. Earth-Jupiter close encounters happen every 13 months when the Earth's orbit laps Jupiter's orbit in their race around the Sun. Astronomers call these events oppositions of Jupiter, because Jupiter and the Sun are on opposite sides of the sky. The view through a backyard telescope is excellent. Because Jupiter is so close, the planet's disk can be seen in rare detail, and there's a lot to see. The Great Red Spot, located in the southern hemisphere of Jupiter, is a cyclone wider than Earth and has existed for hundreds of years. It is easily recognizable among the planet's alternating cloud belts. The 4 Galilean moons of Jupiter are easy targets too. These are planet-sized worlds with active volcanoes, Io, underground oceans, Europa, vast fields of craters, Callisto, and mysterious global grooves, Ganymede. At 413 million miles, Jupiter will look marvelously close. A NASA spacecraft named JUNO is about to take an even closer look. Launched in August 2011, JUNO will reach the giant planet on the 4th of July, 2016, and enter into a polar elliptical orbit that takes it as little as 3,100 miles from Jupiter's cloud tops at its closest point in its orbit. This proximity will allow researchers to probe Jupiter's interior, long hidden from view. JUNO's principal investigator, Scott Bolton of the Southwest Research Institute in San Antonio, Texas, says, "Our knowledge of Jupiter is truly skin-deep. Even NASA's Galileo probe, which dived into the clouds in 1995, penetrated no more than about 0.2% of Jupiter's radius. JUNO will lift the veil without actually diving through the clouds." Bolton explains, "JUNO will spend more than an Earth year orbiting nearer to Jupiter than any previous spacecraft. The probe's flight path will cover all latitudes and longitudes, allowing us to fully map Jupiter's gravitational and magnetic field, and thus figure out how the planet is layered inside." Researchers expect JUNO to find something exotic deep inside the giant planet. Jupiter is made primarily of hydrogen, but only the outer layers may be in gaseous form. Deep inside, high temperatures and crushing pressures likely transform the gas into an exotic form of matter known as liquid metallic hydrogen, a liquid form of hydrogen akin to the slippery mercury in an old-fashioned thermometer. Jupiter's powerful magnetic field almost certainly springs from dynamo action inside this vast realm of electrically conducting fluid. Other instruments on board JUNO will look for water in Jupiter's atmosphere and measure the temperature structure of its clouds, possibly solving mysteries related to Jupiter's formation and extreme climate. Last but not least is JUNOCam, a color camera modeled after the descent camera from the Mars rover Curiosity. The overwhelming majority of JUNOCam's targets will be chosen by the public, with the data being processed by them as well. Bolton says, "We want to give people an opportunity to participate with NASA. This is citizen science at its best." Swooping low over Jupiter's clouds, JUNOCam will be able to photograph massive storms, powerful auroras, and of course, the unknown, at point-blank range. Until then, mark your calendar for March 8th and 9th. See Jupiter from your own backyard. Then, start making a wish list for JUNOCam. After all, it's your camera. For more about the JUNO
Thanks, Josh. In space news, this is a great way to celebrate America on the 4th of July. NASA's JUNO spacecraft is scheduled to reach Jupiter today. CBS 4 News' Ashley Claster here to show us how this mission will allow Americans to study the planet like never before.
Right at this very moment, Juno is approaching Io, the very closest moon to Jupiter. This is the biggest space event of the year. NASA launched the Juno spacecraft 5 years ago on August 5th, 2011. Today, Americans will start to unlock the mysteries and secrets of the planet for the first time.
Today is when we enter orbit of Jupiter.
Jupiter, the king of our solar system. It's bigger than everything in our solar system combined besides the sun. The Juno spacecraft arrives there today to study the interior of the planet.
This mission is to probe deep inside the great planet to find out what's in there. Is there a core? Is there liquid? Is there water? We're going to find out real soon.
The results can give us hints about our beginnings, how the solar system got started.
And it can also teach us a lot about how our own planet functions right now.
This is a milestone for our country. Juno will operate farther from the sun than any other solar panels in history.
Normally, we don't send solar panels out as far as Jupiter because the sun at that distance only puts out about 1/25 of the energy that we enjoy here at Earth.
The solar panels are massive on Juno. If you put this thing in the middle of a basketball gym, it would cover the entire court. It's the largest solar panels ever flown in space and the most efficient.
Jupiter is 500 million miles from the Earth, and the spacecraft to get there had to loop around the sun, pass by the Earth, and then head out to Jupiter, a 1.74 billion mile journey.
A journey that took 5 years. Juno is also flying faster than any object has ever flown before.
The Juno probe passed by the Earth in 2013, using the Earth and our mass to gain speed, propelling it to 160,000 miles per hour, the fastest man-made object ever made.
The Juno mission ends February 20th, 2018, when the spacecraft is expected to crash into Jupiter. But the mission is not without risk. Jupiter puts off extreme radiation. So Nate, for a human, this is the equivalent of about 100 million X-rays in less than a year. Also, there's a big ring of debris, rock and meteorites that swivels around it, and that makes this very hazardous. And the team has one chance to get it right tonight.
That's pretty amazing that it all happens tonight on the 4th of July, launching 5 years ago.
5 years ago, the most American thing that could happen today.
Very impressive. All right.
"413 million miles sounds like a long way. Something you can see in March might change your mind. On March 8, 2016, Earth and Jupiter will have a close encounter, at only 413 million miles apart. Jupiter rises in the east at sunset, shining 3 times brighter than Sirius, the brightest star in the sky. The giant planet will be up all night, soaring almost overhead at midnight, and not setting until the sky brightens with the twilight hues of sunrise on March 9th. Earth-Jupiter close encounters happen every 13 months when the Earth's orbit laps Jupiter's orbit in their race around the Sun. Astronomers call these events oppositions of Jupiter, because Jupiter and the Sun are on opposite sides of the sky.